Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ESR. Some breaking news as I just came out of a meeting and 5 people immediately yelled at me, "You gotta go live." Ben, what did I miss?
So much. Well, where do we begin? It makes us start at the beginning. So it was just a cool, calm day. Nothing happened.
Calm day.
You were in meetings.
It's Thursday. We're getting ready for some GB Live at 3.
I was doing some play testing, and all of a sudden, Twitter just blows up. It blew up. This is why I love roster mania. We have such a big impact on Twitter and social networking. It's crazy.
Right.
First thing that happened is replays and attach both dropped from denial.
What?
Out of nowhere. Just completely.
So the guy you brought on to replace Study,
just gone.
and then your OBJ man on denial.
Just disappeared.
Removed.
Yeah. And then the denial CEO, he tweeted saying, it's business at the end of the day, but I do love those two guys. That was the first crazy thing, and everyone was kind of sat there like, I saw Methodz tweet. Methodz was like, well, that was unexpected when replays got dropped, and then he was like, dropping attach? Really? That's just not right.
That might be a huge mistake that they'll go on to regret.
But then think about it this way, if they've dropped those two players, they have to have something in mind. They have to. And then it gets even more insane. Proofy declared free agency. No one saw that coming.
Optic Proofy.
That's the man. The man that has looked so dominant on this game.
He really came to life at the last Call of Duty Ghost tournament for them.
Yep.
They didn't place as high as they wanted to, and Proof was getting a lot of criticism towards the end of Ghost before he had that great tournament. So I thought he was safe on the squad after watching him at the Optic LAN.
Apparently not.
They played very well.
They really did. They really did. And then it gets even crazier because about 10 seconds ago, Clayster also announced free agency. So 50% of Optic Gaming have been released.
Now, this has been a topic that we've seen on Reddit nonstop. When are Nadeshot and Scumpy going to make moves? Are they going to replace Proofy, or are they going to replace Clayster? Methodz sounds like he's on the phone.
That sounds like Methodz is on the line.
Let's bring Methodz in if we can, production. So,
I turned my camera on and stuff.
Hold on. Let's continue on this, though.
On.
A lot of people are thinking either Proof or Clay might get replaced, especially after we saw Formal leave Envy.
Right.
So that was a lot of hype. A lot of people wondering if the Optic squad would break up. But now both people gone. But who does Optic have in mind?
Well, this is the more interesting thing straight off the bat that we have to sort of think about. Optic Nation, they obviously lost Killer Miracles. And I think a lot of people on Reddit especially were like, oh, well, if one of the players from gaming does get dropped, they'll transition straight into Optic Nation.
Right.
That hasn't happened. Both Clayster and Proofy have said we are free agents as of right now.
I'm trying to get on my phone right now to see the tweets.
It's crazy, but I thought they would transition straight to Nation. That could have been a really good potential, but both of them declaring free agency, and that's another question. Are they going to stick together? What sort of God Squad could we see? But as well as that, I actually saw Nameless retweet a couple of tweets, and this was where it gets really, really interesting. The Optic website, their own website, had both Formal and Crimsix player profiles.
Now, who is stalking the website? Like, who is just sitting there?
I was refresh. I was just spamming F5 just to see what was going on.
Crimsix and Formal?
Crimsix and Formal had their both individual player profile pages, and then Optic deleted both those pages from the website, and then announced Formal is joining Optic organization. Didn't announce where he was going to be playing under Nation or Gaming.
Well, I feel like we all need to take a deep breath. Calm down.
It's stressful.
So far, what we've discussed, replays and attach dropped from denial.
Yeah.
They're homeless right now. We'll find out where they go as free agents. We see tweets from Proofy and from Clayster announcing free agency. So 2 holes on Optic, 2 holes on Optic Nation. We got Methodz on the phone. Moobot, what the hell is going down, my friend? Why aren't you in school? And what do you think of the 4 tweets so far? Replays, attach,
I got a DM from
Clayster
saying we want you to come on. I ran home, just got home, ran in my room, got on the show. No, I don't have school today or tomorrow to do teachers conventions, but so we've seen 2 players released from Optic within just a few minutes, so that's pretty interesting. Is my camera frozen? It may be.
You look strong.
You look
You're
real
so
hench right there.
strong.
Look at you. You've been lifting. You've been lifting.
Oh, team lift. But so we've seen that. We've just seen that Curse and MW have merged.
Curse and MW have merged. I missed this one completely. Give me the lowdown.
There's no roster announced yet. So so far all we know is that the organizations have merged together.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking now is, so MW joined Curse, so now Curse will have the league spot, but they need 2 players from MW to be in the league because you need 2 qualified players.
See,
Spacely's gone, in my opinion, because I've seen tweets recently, him kind of
Spacely-
going after
I
Huddle
wouldn't-
for Huddle playing hockey.
I was just in a call with Spacely. Spacely said, if anything tries happening, like he said he doesn't want a team with a certain player, and if it comes down to that, then he'll join Impact.
wow.
So
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting because as soon as Attach announced that he was no longer a part of Denial, immediately in my mind I was thinking Enable. Because you go back to when Enable was playing at the US Championship, he had Attach and Miyagi, and he immediately went for a tweet of those guys all in their jerseys and whatnot, and I was thinking, you know what, that could be a really good team. But maybe not then. Maybe, of course, now if Curse have formed with Most Wanted, that wipes that off the table.
You don't need anyone from the original Curse crew. So are Enable, are Mochila safe, or is this a brand new Most Wanted team under the Curse brand? That's what I'm thinking this is going to become.
I would be
Now,
amazed
what
if Curse dropped
okay,
Enable.
so I've been thinking Clay to Envy. What if we see the old Unite that plays second at Dallas return with Clayster, Spacely, Slacked, and Huddle?
Ooh, shit! Didn't even think about that.
That could
one.
be real strong.
Huddle and Spacely don't go together right now, and that is just purely based on a thread that I saw between Spacely and Papa Huddle, where it was
That's
kind
hilarious.
of playful jabs at each other, but there were
Right.
some hurtful remarks thrown out in that little interaction. So I see frustration from Spacely because he said, to Papa Huddle, your son has to pick one, either hockey or COD. We can't do both.
Right.
I don't know if that's true, but that seems to be he seemed to be very serious in his tweet at the time.
Right.
We'll see if that comes up, but would you see Clayster teaming with MW being Spacely, Slacked, and Classic? Or do you think that there's going to be another move on that squad?
One main thing that's going to come in here is age, because a lot of people sort of want to avoid the roster changes as COD Champs approaches, and Slacked won't be old enough. At least we think, because we don't know the exact dates, but as of now, Slacked doesn't think he'll be eligible for COD Champs, so that may come into play.
Do you know his birthday by chance?
I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
I have it on a Excel sheet somewhere, but
Somewhere.
I don't.
I'm just keep on scrolling.
Alright, you keep going,
I'm just
Ben.
seeing if
Yeah,
there's
so
anything
I mean,
happening.
I'm thinking Clay to Envy or maybe Proofy to Envy. One of the players returning to MVS. MVS is looking for one. It's Merc, JCap, and Nameless. So
now if you're Merc, there's Merc as kind of the leader of this squad. He seems to be the safe one. After all of Envy's drama during ESWC, he was the core. If you're Merc, who are you going after? Are you going after Clay, or are you going after Proofy, or maybe someone like Attach or someone else that's been dropped, or even Study? What are you thinking as the captain of Envy right now?
I'm definitely thinking Clayster. I'm pretty sure Clayster was playing with Nameless and them last night. I think they were playing like a tournament or something. But I definitely feel like their best fit will be Clayster, with formerly lost a lot of slaying power. And after watching Clay play this game, he's definitely going to be a dominant force. So I definitely see a possibly, Clayster to Envy type thing. But you really can't count Proofy out either, because Proofy's been, on MVS. He was the captain for a while, and he's been in blue before. So it's really going to come down to the personal player's preference and what they think is going to help them the best in game as well as out of game.
Do you not think Proof and Clay are going to stay together?
I really don't think so, because I don't see
No?
where they can go, where they will stick together.
I think
mean,
they will.
Optic Nation, I could see them sticking together.
I can see.
I thought
I can
Optic
see them staying
Nation
together.
until I
got
saw them say we are no longer part of the Optic Gaming organization.
Right.
So I mean, I figured that if they were going to Nation, instead of saying that they they're leaving Optic or they got dropped from Optic, I think that they would probably say, but we'll be going to Nation. But
Okay.
But
I think
let's
that'd
not
be-
forget that there's more to this sort of riddle, if you will, because we still don't know what's going on with EG.
Yes.
Well,
we still don't know. Where
Well-
is Karma going to potentially end up? He's been playing with Impact a lot.
And Garfield just this past Saturday, so 5 days ago, said
We're not
releasing
releasing anyone.
any players. So
And they have 5 players. Let's not forget, the first team in COD history to have 5 players on the roster. Impressive.
Well, when I hear Zuma and Saints, first two names in my mind are Aches and TP.
ooh.
I mean, I just feel like that's what's gonna end up happening. I know Aches has had interest in teaming with Zuma. They always screwed around on Twitter with it. Saints is obviously gonna be a great player, and I don't see any other teams that would get Aches and TP right now, or that Iggs and Teep would even want to go to. I feel like Denial definitely wouldn't have released Attach and replays unless they had a good plan and they had a solid two in mind. And the first name in my head is Iggs and Teep. But like you said, it all depends on the EG situation.
Right.
Can
a lot
I-
does depend. Clayster actually just.
Can I read the Optic tweets real quick between Nate Shot and Clay?
Oh,
And then I'll let you
yeah,
read Clay's
go on,
most recent. So, Nate Shot, this was 7 minutes ago. Good luck to my homies, Clayster and Proofy. It was a heck of a year. We had a great times together. More announcements soon. Clayster responds, best of luck, brother. See you on the main stage. And Nate Shot says, about to be a slugfest for sure. Can't wait to hear you screaming from the other booth. So, seem friendly right now on Twitter.
Very friendly.
Not very much bad blood. But,
However,
but what did you hear recently?
So Clayster 2 minutes ago just tweeted, announcements of my team change coming soon. Not sure I could handle being on a B team under my former teammates.
Who
But
said that?
Who knows?
Oh.
Who said that?
Clayster.
Ooh.
Just coordination of
A
B team.
B team. Well, they were always considered a B team.
Were
Embos
they?
was dropped. He was given a brand new team. It wasn't like, hey, Embos, you're better than the rest of us. Let me build you the A
But this is-
team,
this is
and
a-
then we'll be the B team.
This was a B team that beat the
Outperformed.
A team
Yeah.
a couple of times. They
But the
did.
B team never won a championship.
Well, Clayster just clarified what he said. He said that he didn't mean it like that. Here, I'll read you the exact tweet because he clarified what he meant.
Thank
He
you.
said, I didn't mean it as a slight. I meant it in the eyes of the players and the fans. Optic Nation 3-0'd us. They were/are a great team.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can
Covering
definitely
his
see,
tracks nicely.
it's definitely possible seeing, one of the two returning to Optic Nation. Bose is really good friends with both of them. And, I just can't wait for the rest of today because there's so many things that have yet to happen that will happen. And EG is like the thing it all depends on.
Yeah.
What's happening with them.
Completely agree. It is all eyes on EG because I want to know. Obviously, we talked about that Crim6 page, which was on Optic Gaming's website. What does that mean? Is that a sign? And if you assume that is, then we can also assume that EG have got out their contracts, which means every one of those players is able to go somewhere else. So does Karma, does he stay playing with Impact? Are we seeing the reformation of Impact altogether? Could potentially be that way. Or does Karma maybe go with a team with maybe Proof and Clay? Can you imagine how good that team would be?
Yeah,
Karma, Proof, and Clay?
You're talking Karma. I'm thinking TP. Where does TP go in all this?
If you added TP to that lineup, Karma, Proof, Clay, and TP?
It's a pretty
Well,
cracky team.
I'm just saying,
I mean,
if
They're
you
not
want...
going to win any championships.
I
No
think-
talent on that squad.
I think it's safe to say right now that Evil Genius is no longer going to be a part of Call of Duty going into the new game with them just pretty much not having a roster for the most part, unless
Right.
they do release them. And it's looking like they really did. I mean, if those players, if Krim was actually on the Optic website and, they took it down real fast, then, I don't think that they put it up for no reason. I really think that it was probably discussed already. To be honest, if Aches and Teep and their whole team wasn't being released from their contracts, I don't think that we'd see a lot of these changes right now, to be honest.
How does this affect Impact? Does it affect Impact at all? Parasite, Miracles, and Mr. Killa
I think it does.
teaming together?
No matter if they can't get anybody that they actually want, they're going to have good options for players. It's Impact. They
But
want...
do you think they
for-
will, though? Because we talked about this, a couple of days ago. That Impact brand is kind of tarnished now. A lot of players think of it and they think of arguments, immaturity.
Methodz, what do you think? If Parasite comes after you or Killa comes and approaches you for the opportunity, what goes through your head?
Championships.
See?
Really?
That's what I think too.
Really? I think championship.
It's because
and
we're on the
then-
broadcast and we're on the media side, man. We look into that more than the gameplay.
guess-
The
I
players
guess.
are going to think gameplay first.
True.
So, I
True,
mean,
true,
like...
true.
So, when I think of that roster, and if they were to approach me, I'd think, all right, 3 players, very familiar with each other. They won, they won a huge run before EG or /EOL started their run. And Impact was so dominant for those events that they won. They've lost very minimal maps, and the things that destroyed that team were attitudes. And I think if the attitudes can be fixed and they can literally strictly keep it in-game, calling out and discuss things after the game and not getting those in-game arguments, they're going to be dominant. I mean, I played them yesterday and they played really well. Miracles was, really good at this game. And I mean, like, I really don't see them failing. I mean, I don't see Impact not getting a player they want.
So, do you think with that said, Karma will be on Impact?
I don't think so. Just because I've seen Karma and Parasite go at it on Twitter recently, saying, you're just mad that I declined your offer and stuff like that. So I mean, you definitely can't count it out because like when I think of Parasite and Karma, I think of like Sammy and Ronnie from Jersey Shore. Like they always fight, but at the end of the day, they'll still, it's always tough love. So. And so
you've got a little giggle. What's going on? What's this sound?
Well, it was first a Sammy and Ronnie comment because Methodz is from Jersey, and I'm sure he watches it religiously. Chimtan Laundry. My giggle was from Huddle's tweet.
What the hell?
Huddle gave us some very good information. Hiss meow cats was his tweet.
Wow.
During all this roster mania, there's just
sensational,
ridiculous tweets coming out of everywhere. One that I saw from the Envy side. We saw Merc tweet positivity, loyalty, and JCap responds, "Shut up, depressed loser! You were about to drop me an ant last week."
Awkward.
So like Envy, I don't think Envy's safe.
You see, has Nameless officially announced he's playing with Envy? That's my question because JCap has changed his Twitter handle and whatnot, but Nameless is still just at Nameless. I think, he could be keeping his options wide open at this point. A lot of people as well, they thought Study was going to be the fourth on Envious.
Right. They put in the tournament together.
This changed everything. When there's so many high-quality players available and in a free agent pool,
Envy won the tournament with Study yesterday,
they did.
right? Or
they
2
did.
days ago.
Don't get me wrong, Study was going off. But,
he was their best player.
Clayster, from everything we've seen so far, and I know it hasn't been long, but for me, he's one of the best players in this game without a shadow of a doubt.
We're in day 3 of this game, man.
I don't see Study Envy.
No?
Just because of all the options I'd have seen come into play. I feel as if Envy really wants to attack either Clay or Proof. And I'm really curious, where are replays and attach going to end up? I'm trying to think of rosters. The first thing I thought was Curse. Mocha enable, replays attach. Definitely possible. Replays the objective player.
Replays wanted to get to Curse a while back as well.
Mochilla. But now we see Curse and MW, sort of come together.
That's a really strange move.
Another tweet from Classic. Hiss meow cats. What does it mean?
Hiss meow cats. #. So, I mean, there's so many things that are gonna go down today.
You reckon there's more to come?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if more players will leave or get dropped from teams, but we're definitely gonna see a lot of these rosters start forming today, and most of the stuff we want to know is gonna come to light shortly. One of the things I really want to know is what's happening with Denial. They dropped 2 players attached, one of the best Ghost players we've seen. Replay, he just won a championship with them, so they definitely have a good plan. There's no way they do that without having, a solid foundation to build a new team and a possibly championship caliber team. So, we have Denial, we have Optic Gaming. So right now, Optic Gaming has 3 members. Krim wasn't officially announced, but we saw that on that page that was leaked, he was announced as a part of the organization.
And you have to think, out of everyone in the free agent pool, the 2 players going after right now are Krim and Formal for Optic Gaming. Optic Gaming is the one team who can get anyone they want.
But we don't officially know if they are free agents yet, though.
So what about Karma to Optic Nation? You really can't, sort of get rid of that either.
Wait, Karma
I think personality-wise, Optic's probably going to get along better with Krim.
Over Karma?
Over Karma.
No, I'm talking about Optic Nation possibly.
Oh, Nation.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Nation Karma would be the boss on that team. I think Embos would happily let Karma make some play calls.
I honestly think Karma, being a 2-time world champion, he's looking for a high-profile team. He's looking for a team that he knows is going to win. And we said it ourselves. Nation, they didn't win any. No disrespect, obviously they're a great team, but he could team with 3 players, which won the 2013 world championship.
What about Denial Karma? Like, what if
that's honestly where I'm looking as a team who has money to spend. I think Denial has showed that throughout eSports they have multiple teams. It's not just their Call of Duty team. They have League of Legends.
Right.
They have Counter-Strike all over the place.
What team would you put together if you're Denial then?
If I'm Denial, I keep Zuma, I keep Saints, I add Karma, and I bring in TP.
What about Proofy?
Proofy, no. You want an objective player. You got 3 Slayers if you bring on Karma.
Just go full on,
I feel as if TP's gonna
I think my team would be better though.
Because I feel like TP's gonna have a lot of options because a lot of these teams are being formed around the Slayers, and no matter how many Slayers you have, you're going to need somebody who's strictly gonna be playing for those capture the flags, strictly going to be hopping on those hard points, strictly going to be grabbing those bombs in search and putting the bomb down. So I think TP definitely has a plan, and I think TP right now is just waiting it out. But overall, I personally see Aches and Teep joining up with Denial.
Do you see the duo staying together?
don't see
Because
it.
I felt like EG was starting to go different directions towards the end of Ghost. Like it might finally be the breakup between these 4 guys.
I feel like they teamed together as a duo, Aches and Teep, for so long now that I think maybe it's just time that they separate. This could be the
They always
separation.
dominate at the start of a new game, though.
They do. That's very true. But at the same time, finding a roster which I think both of them feel comfortable they're going to really do amazing things and win another world championship with together is going to be very tough. I think separately, that's what I'm saying. I think we're not just going to have a case of, oh, there's a God Squad in COD now. I think there's going to be a case of there's going to be multiple. We could see 3 just insane squads now.
Real quick, guys, before the commercial break, I want to read a tweet from Denial Replays, now just Replays.
Okay.
This was back on 10/27, right? October 27th, the week
Okay,
before
here we
Advanced
go.
Warfare dropped. I have a strong feeling I'm about to get effed. Denial CEO, Robbie responds, F this tweet. Look back at this when you're 25, still on the Wolfpack, drinking scotch with me at events.
Can I retweet that? Because I think that's really ironic.
And then it looks like Replays responds, looks like I'm going to have to decline that scotch.
Oh, I mean,
Hit him with it.
Replays is definitely mad at Zuma because Zuma said, can I get some scotch with you? And Replay said, definitely not you. And,
Damn.
we've seen, first things first, Zuma's underage. It's very illegal.
Yes.
But, I think Replays is hurt because Zuma pretty much, I saw him tweet him like around the same time he tweeted that I think I'm about to get F tweet. Zuma was like, you will not be getting dropped. Don't worry about it. And I feel like Replay's really hurt now because him and Tommy or Zuma were really close. You always see them tweeting each other how good of friends they were. And I feel as if Replay just feels betrayed right now. And, I don't blame him. I mean, I'd be very upset being dropped from a team that, just won a championship and was playing really well together and just picked up a new player. So, I mean, I could definitely understand his frustration and I think things are going to get pretty interesting.
Yeah, honestly, I think anyone who ever gets dropped is going to feel hurt. You got to look at it as a business decision in some scenarios. A lot of friendships can be ruined here in the competitive Call of Duty scene. And I think we're going to see a lot of bad blood continue throughout the year. The question is, what rosters, what new teams, what new friendships will be formed? We'll discuss it after the commercial break. Guys, send us your tweets. Who do you want to see go where? What are you expecting to see now that we know 4 major players removed from their squad, attach and replays from Denial, Proofy and Clayster no longer on Optic Gaming. We'll be right back.